praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahushua, Ba'ashum, Rakach, Wadash, the bonds of the apostles, the bonds of the elders, the great millstone, Ruel, and taught us his truth. Much respect to you brothers out there just preaching his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. Tabernacle David, hopeful elect, and speckled bird, Shalom, Shalom. Let's get into this lesson, right? You had Deacon Madness, man. This is why we say, these other camps, they ain't got it, man. Right? They're telling you to wear these t-shirts with fringes, which Apostle Gabar, I remember this very vividly, it's probably a couple years ago now, how he went into the t-shirt and how it's pretty much an undergarment, right? And you putting fringes on it, right? We telling you that's not a wise thing to do. But you have Deacon Hakan and some of these other Israelite camps, they telling you to do that. That's not wise, right? That's not using true wisdom, right? You don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, right? Everybody's not supposed to know what you're into, right? Now, when we came into this truth, some of us, right? When we came into this truth, right? We had that fire on us and we wanted to tell everybody. But as you grow into this walk, right? As the scriptures say, when I was a child, I spake as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things, right? When you truly grow into this thing, you grow more talents, more wisdom, right? You understand everybody's not going to get this. It's a waste of time. Matter of fact, I'm going to get the scripture real quick. I'm going to get a little earlier. Let me see. It's like here. Yeah, it's right here. It's like here. It's Proverbs 14 and verse 7. Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. Right? When you see a family member, friend, right? Knowing when you first come into this truth and you perceive that this ain't for him, sometimes it ain't for him at that moment. Maybe later in life it may be for him, right? That's all in the Lord's movie. But other than that, if you see that they're not able to receive this truth, it's a waste of time to be beating it down upon them every time. Hey, you know you were Israelite? You know you were Israelite? That's a waste of time, right? As Deacon Hakan, whatever his name is, over here saying, hey, you ain't supposed to be hiding it. Esau Edom's going to sniff you out. Hey, newsflash, he's coming against all Israelites. He has a perpetual hatred towards you. All Israelites. Is he going to come after the men of the Lord, those that know the truth? Absolutely. He's trying to prolong his kingdom as long as he can, right? But you can use wisdom. You can maneuver through this world. Matter of fact, I could get that scripture. Matthew 10 and verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. It's a certain way in which you maneuver through this world. That's why the apostles say, hey, don't be posting the truth on Facebook, right? That's not using wisdom. Especially you got your co-workers, family and friends. They can get you fired. That's not using wisdom, right? You can get fired for that. If I'm not mistaken, one of the brothers that had did a lesson on the dude with the t-shirt with fringes that got pulled over. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, he did a lesson on how him and another Jake got fired for wearing the t-shirt with fringes. And another thing about this video, man. Here it is, you get pulled over. As the elder said, and the scriptures say, a man's goings of the Lord. All right? A man's goings of the Lord. Yeah, you was probably being wicked. The Lord did that to you. Right? You're not using wisdom. It sounded like from the video, the cop was trying to be chilled. But we know Esau eat them. But, cops trying to be chill, just let you know, hey, this and that, if I remember correctly. But you want to escalate the situation. You're not using wisdom, right? You over here saying, oh, you're an Edomite. Your time is up. Just roughly paraphrase what he brought out. That's not using wisdom. That is not using wisdom. You asking for it, man. You asking to be locked up or detained. You asking for it. Because there's a time and a place to preach this word. That is not a time and place to preach this word. Oh, you're an Edomite. No, nigga, you were retarded. That's why we say a lot of you other Israelite camps, a lot of you Jakes, yeah, you may know that you're an Israelite, but y'all don't have the wisdom to maneuver through this world. Being in that position, matter of fact, I'm going to get it. It's Matthew 5 and verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge. Yeah, he can apprehend you, detain you, all right, arrest you. However you see fit. Hey, this is Esau Edom's kingdom, man. It says, agree with thy adversary quickly, man. This ain't to make a scene. Oh, man, y'all the Edomites. Y'all going to slavery. That's retarded, bruh. That time is yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. And keep it pushing, all right? If he gives you a ticket, keep it pushing. Keep it moving. Don't be, flapping your jaws, man. And the judge shall deliver thee to the officer, and thou shalt be cast into prison. Not using wisdom, right? Get this right here too. Proverbs 16 verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he will make it even his enemies to be at peace with him, right? So if your ways were truly pleasing the Lord, your enemies will be at peace with you. A time of you getting pulled over like that, right? Once again, you use wisdom. Yes, sir. No, sir. Keep it pushing. He probably would have got you a warning and sent you on your way. But no, you want to escalate the situation. No, you want to be wicked, right? Hey, that is pretty much being wicked, not using wisdom, right? Here's the one I want to get to. Romans 13 and verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but power, and the powers that be ordained by power. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of power, and they that resist it shall receive to themselves damnation. Right? When you understand Esau Edom being over us, right? These police officers these centurions being over us, right? That's ordained by Yahweh Shemiel Shah. But as we just read in Proverbs 16 verse 7, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies at peace with him, right? That, hey, whatever you come across, hey, the Lord has protection over you, right? The Lord's going to get you out of that situation. Once again, you might even be given a warning, right? So don't resist the power. You resist the powers that's over you. As it says, you're going to get damnation. You're going to get jacked up. You're going to be detained or arrested and sent to the judge, sent your way, right? Stop flapping your jaws, Jake. Stop wearing these t-shirts with fringes, Jake. It's not wise. You're making yourself an easy target. That's what these other camps ain't telling you. You making yourself an easy target, right? As one of the elders that did the lesson on as well, right? Didn't the Israelites that wore fringes, didn't they put up Yahushua to death, right? Didn't they come up against them, right? They had the nice, beautiful garments. They was decked out. Didn't they put up Yahushua? Didn't they put up Yahushua to death, right? False accusing, right? So what's the point, man? What's the point? Let's get some more. Let's see. For the rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then be not afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt praise of the same. Do that which is good, right? And the Lord going to get you out of that situation. If not, you resist the powers, you over here flapping your jaws, you're going to slavery. You're an Edomite. You're going to get jacked up. There's a time and a place for that. That's why you go out there to the highways and byways and preach the word. You do that. Not in a situation like that. That's retarded. For he is a minister of power to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not his sword in vain, for he is a minister of power and a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. You see, he doesn't bear the sword in vain. The 2/3 are going to be destroyed, right? That's not going to be in vain. That's destined for them because they're doing wickedness. They're resisting the powers. They're not coming into this truth. Yeah. Once again, as we said, just because you know that you're Israelite doesn't mean that you're going to make it. And this is a perfect example of this. You know, it remains to be seen if he repents and, gets his head on the swivel. But a lot of jakes that's in the spirit, you wearing the t-shirts with fringes, oh, I'm holier than thou. Hey, if I'm not mistaken, like the elder has said in his video, you feel like you got super powers, man. You're invisible. Nobody can take you down. Well, guess what? The Lord got to humble you, man. The Lord got to humble you. Let's see if I get some more. That may be it. But yeah, man, this is a perfect example, man. Keep on listening to these other camps. Keep on wearing these t-shirts and fringes. You're going to find out the hard way, right? You're going to find out the hard way as not a wise thing to do. These other camps are leading you to destruction. We wise as serpents and harmless as doves. All right, maneuvering through this world with wisdom. Yeah, Deacon, yeah. This man is coming after everybody, but make it harder. You shine your light out there on the highways and byways. Matter of fact, he said, those are stood stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashmi al-Shah. Right? That's enduring unto the end. Not showing your fringes to everybody. Yeah, I'm an Israelite, shouting to everybody. Yeah, I'm an Israelite. You're an Edomite. You going to... No, man. That's enduring to the end. That's you doing your lessons. Right? That's you praying, doing the work, going out there to the highways and byways. Right? Resisting the MOTB, Yahweh Dazah, you endure to the end. Yeah, you're going to get your crown. That's not talking about you wearing fringes, showing your fringes to everybody. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yahweh Dazah is an edifying lesson. Shalom.